This video is about power rule of a derivative. Let's review what's a derivative. Slope of a tangent line or gradient of a tangent line, we call it a derivative. Look at this graph. Slope of tangent line equals f prime of x, which means the derivative of f of x. From the video of investigation of a derivative, we already explored the relationship between the first derivative and the graph. Derivative is a positive on the interval s, where the function is increasing, like this three type of graph. From left to right, the graph is going up. And the derivative of the function less than 0, which means negative on interval s, where the function is decreasing. Like these three different types of graphs. The first derivative of f of x equals to 0 at the following points. Either minimum point like this, maximum point like this, or stationary inflection. Stationary inflection is the point where the concavity changes. Stationary inflection means the first derivative and the second derivative both equal to 0. Then from the investigation of derivative, we also figure out the power rule of derivative. The derivative of a constant number equal to 0. The derivative of x to the nth power equals n times x to the n minus 1th power. If you have a coefficient before the function, this coefficient will stay. For example, if we have 1 over 4, we do derivative definitely equals to 0. Derivative of x to the 4th power equals 4 times x to the 3rd power. Remember, drop down this 4, then 4 minus 1. Then 1 over x to the 4th power, we do the derivative. You have to turn it into power form. That is x to the negative 4th power. Then we do derivative. Negative 4 drop down. You will get the negative 4 times x to negative 4 minus 1, that's minus 5. Therefore, x to the negative 5th power, we will get the x to the 5th power. Negative 4, put the top. This will be the derivative of 1 over x to the 4th power. When you have 7 x to the 6th power, we do derivative. This is 7 will stay because this is a coefficient. 7 times 6 drop down, then x to the 5th power. So we get 42 x to the 5th power. If we have 3 over 4x to the 7th power, we will change this into power form. So 3 over 4 times x to the negative 7th power. Then we have 3 over 4 times. Negative 7 drop down, that's negative 7. Then x. Negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. Remember, here is minus 1. Then we can organize. Denominator is 4, x to the 8th power. Top, 3 times negative 7, that is negative 21. So this will be the derivative of 3 over 4 x to the 7th power. Now let's go to guided practice. We have y prime equals x to the 4th power prime. That is 4 times x to the 3rd power. For b, y prime equals x to the 5th power prime equals 5. X, 5 minus 1 is the 4th power. If I have a constant number, that means we have coefficient before variable, like y prime equals 5 x to the 4th power prime. Coefficient stay times 4 times x to the 3rd power, therefore equals 20 x to the 3rd power. For D, you have to make sure change these expressions into single power. So we have 1 over 6 x to the negative 5th power. Then we do derivative. 1 over 6 will stay times negative 5 x to the negative 6th power, because negative 5 minus 1 equals negative 6. Therefore, we change x to the negative 6th power into x to the 6 as a denominator. Then we have this 6 as denominator 2, negative 5 to the top. Then this is the answer. Remember, here's the rule. When you have x to the negative nth power, then it equals 1 over x to the nth power. Do the backwards. When we have 1 over x to the nth power, we can turn it into a single power form is x to the negative nth power. For E, we have y prime equals 3 times x to the negative 6th power. We do derivative. You will get the 3 times negative 6 x to the negative 7th power. Remember, negative 6 minus 1 equals negative 7 is not negative 5. Therefore, x to the 7th power as denominator. 3 times negative 6, that's negative 18. For D, y prime equals 2 times x to the negative 4th power. Then we do derivative. You will get the 2 times negative 4 x to the negative 5th power, because negative 4 minus 1 equals negative 5. So the final answer will be x to the 5th power as denominator. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 over x to the 5th power. For guided practice 2, for y equals x to the 4th power, find the following derivative. For A, f prime of negative 3. First of all, you have to get the derivative of x to the 4th power. That is 4x to the 3rd power. Basically, it's a plug-in game. So we get the 4 times negative 3 to the 3rd power. That's 4 times negative 27. So you get the negative 108. For B, equals 4 times negative 1 to the 3rd power. 4 times negative 1 equals negative 4. this equals 4 times 2 to the third power, then equals 4 times 8, 32. 4 times 6 to the third power, you will get 864. We can interpret derivative of f of 6 equals 864. We know the definition of derivative means slope of a tangent line. So we can interpret derivative of f of 6 equals 864 like the slope of a tangent line of the curve at x equals 6 is 864. Let's go to guided practice 3. For y equals 1 over 2x 7th power, find the derivative of y equals derivative of 1/2 x to the negative 7th power. 1/2 stay, negative 7 drop down, then you minus 1, that's x to the negative 8th power. So we have 2 x to the 8th power and top is negative 7. Then we just need to plug in derivative of f of negative 1 equals negative 7 over 2 times negative 1 to the 8th power. Therefore, this will be positive 1, negative 7 over 2. For b, we just need to plug in this derivative function. You have negative 7, 2 times negative 2 to the 8th power. So we have negative 7 over 5/12. For c, we do the same thing. You will get the same answer as b, negative 7 over 5/12. For derivative of f of y equals negative 7, 2 times 1 to the 8th power equal negative 7 over 2. How to interpret? Remember, the derivative means the slope of a tangent line. Of the curve or of this function y equals 1 over 2 x to the 7th power at x equals 1 is negative 7 over 2. So you have to know how to interpret the derivative.